is now time to testify. You see, I'm here with my boy Maven, a good friend of mine in the wrestling business, and we're gonna take a look at some of my most extreme moments in my career. I remember this.
Yeah, I bet you do. Where are we at here?
This is TLC. This is one of the most dangerous spots I think I'd ever taken in those TLC matches. This is where I'm petrified of heights, extremely petrified.
You're petrified of depths. I've never looked up in my life and got scared. I've looked down and got scared.
That I have. I remember Edge kept saying, "Don't look down, don't look down." Before we even touch
that bump hurts me to this day.
Listen, it was like Jeff is kicking me for dear life, and I'm screaming, "If you ever loved me, you would stop kicking me. The ladder isn't moved." Edge goes, "What's going on up there?" I said, "This son of a bitch won't stop kicking me. Please move the damn ladder." It was like in Rocky when he said, "Throw the damn towel, man. Throw the damn towel." That's the way I felt. I was like, "Move the goddamn towel. Move the damn ladder, man. Move the ladder."
I want to give people an impression of how high you guys are. When you're hanging on for dear life, how high above the ring are you?
That had to be about at least 25, maybe 30 feet.
That's an insane bump.
I mean, I landed straight on my back.
Look at that. Hey, you took a damn good bump, though.
Well, the thing about it is, if you just saw it, and I just realized this after watching it all this time, I could have over-rotated.
You could have landed on the back of your neck.
Yeah.
You took a perfect bump there.
I'm going to tell you right now, it's through the grace of God that I landed the way I did.
Yeah.
I had a friend of mine say, because I like to do that herky-jerky type of sell.
You do.
With the leg moving.
Yeah.
And I did it.
Yeah. The Apollo Creed.
I did it. And a friend of mine who was watching said, when you took that bump, I was waiting to see if you would twitch. And when you twitched, I knew you were okay.
You were okay. Yep.
I knew you were okay.
Yep.
I remember we were in rehearsal going over, and all the big bumps that everybody was taking, they actually went over it. Bubba goes, "All right, Devon, we're going to do yours now." I said, "No, we're not."
Not even with a crash
Listen,
pad?
I'm sweating now.
Yeah.
I go.
Not even with a crash pad?
No.
Wow.
That's how petrified I was even doing that spot.
You're like, I have one in me, and it's going to be on the show.
Because I know once I get out there, the people plus Vince watching in the back, you got no other choice but to do it. Whatever fear you got is going to leave your body.
Right.
And I told Bubba, he goes, "Devon, you got to do it. What happens if you freeze?" I go, "Bubba, trust me. I'm not going to freeze."
This is what put you guys, this is what put Edge and Christian, this is what put the Hardys, not only on the map, but in that upper echelon legendary status. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely, but we had one more right before this legendary one. This was in Carolina. In the Hardys' hometown. But the first one was done in Anaheim, California.
Gotcha.
And that was WrestleMania.
Gotcha.
And so, but it was considered a ladder match. It wasn't considered a TLC match until this one came about.
Gotcha.
But in my opinion, before WrestleMania 17, this was my favorite.
This was, I still remember, and this was before I knew you. This was before you and I were friends. Mm-hmm. I still remember watching this match, and I think wrestling is what it is today because of matches like this. This was the kind of entertainment you just can't miss.
Well, you also got to put in perspective too, nobody was really doing this back then.
Nobody.
No one had ever done this. So it was kind of like we were the first ones to do it. Not to mention you're using tables, ladders, and chairs.
Whose dumb idea was that?
Vince.
I've asked dumb questions before in my life. I will ask more dumb questions. This is just another one. What did it feel like when you fell? What did your body feel like?
Like a car crash.
Yeah,
like I hit a cement wall. It was one of those things where I didn't know what to expect. Yeah. If you know what to expect, then it's a lot harder to do it.
Yeah.
Because you know the pain that you're about to feel.
Yeah, that's coming.
You know the pain that's coming.
That's why no one likes a root canal.
Exactly.
They know what's coming.
They know what's coming. But to take that type of bump, because we've taken bumps, crazy bumps in ECW, even in WWE, even before this, to not know what's coming,
right?
That's the part that's really scary.
Absolutely. But I can say wrestling is what it is today because of bumps just like that and matches just like this. Brother, you wear that Hall of Fame ring and you wear it with pride, and it's because you earned it.
Thank you. I mean, it's been a long and windy road, as the Beatles put it, but at the same token, it was worth every blood, sweat, and tears that I put into it.
All right, so the next one, where are we at here?
The Houston Astrodome, WrestleMania 17. Not only the tables, ladders, and chairs, but we added Lita, Rhino, and Spike to the mix. So think about it. We've already got 6 guys in there doing what we're doing. Now we're adding 3 more people in there. And the storyline has to be
it makes sense.
Impeccable.
Has to make sense.
It has to make sense. Not to mention, we have to meet every element there is to meet. A has to go with B. B has to go with C. Yeah. There can't be anything in between. You can't mess it up.
How much time did you guys have for this?
I know we were scheduled for 25 or 30, and it got cut down to 16.
If you get cut down from 25 to 17, that's 17 with 3 teams' entrances. So you're getting cut down even more.
And this is done in Guerrilla. This is done right before we went out. So this wasn't like we were in the locker room still going over stuff, and they said, okay, we're cutting you down to such and such. Yeah. No, we got to Guerrilla. We thought we had 30. And next thing you know, we were told, Dudley's, Edge and Christian Hardy's, you guys got 18 or 16 minutes.
And you got to do it on the fly.
I do it on the fly.
Wow.
Now, we tried to duplicate the same bump that me and Jeff did, me and Christian.
Oh, gosh.
And it looked like Christian was watching Jeff. He's kicking me the same way, too.
Whoa, the ladder.
Now, look, the ladder's still there. That's not even moved.
Oh, gosh. All right, I'm going to watch this in slow motion. Did you try to not take that bump at that point? I saw you grab Christian.
So right by the ass. I was like, I ain't going down by myself. Now, remember when I told you, I said, if you don't know what you're going to feel, then the bump is kind of easy because you don't know what to anticipate. Going up there with Christian, I knew.
You knew.
So I'm hesitating, even letting go.
Root canal. You know what's coming.
I know what's coming.
And that's a 20-foot ladder.
Yeah.
And I mean, I have leaf filter to avoid going up and doing my gutters because, once again, I'm afraid of depths. I don't look up and get scared. I'm not afraid of heights, but I don't like depths. Compared to the last bump where you took a perfect flat back, the surgery you had on your back, probably from this.
I'm going to say a combination of both. The first one really jarred me, but again, I didn't feel it as much because the way I landed. Yeah. I landed as flat as you could possibly be.
Absolutely.
On this one, it was kind of like tailbone first.
Yeah.
And then going to my back, just because that little ladder was in the way and I didn't know how I could bump without hitting it. So it was kind of scary. But again, that was probably the best TLC match that we had ever had. And I was very happy and proud of that.
Do you like this one more than the other ones?
Oh, yeah.
This one's your favorite?
I think this one is number one because of all the different elements with adding Lita, Spike, and Rhino. And just the story that we told.
Okay.
Storytelling is huge.
It's everything.
To be able to do that with tables, ladders, and chairs, 3 extra people, and then the 6 that are already in there, that's huge.
As long as we've been friends, I never knew this one was your favorite.
This one was my favorite. I love TLC.
And this one you had the most stacked against you.
Everything was against us.
Everything.
I mean, you got to think about it. We done did 2 of these matches already.
Yes.
They had seen everything we thought that they could see. What could we possibly do that would top SummerSlam? What could we possibly do that would top WrestleMania, the first one we did? What would top even what we did with the Hardys at the Royal Rumble with the tables match?
Yeah.
You got to put we've done all this crazy crap, but yet now you're asking us to do it again on the biggest stage of them all.
I have a question that I guarantee you people are going to want to know. How long are you in planning stages for a match like this? This isn't because most people, now they know. We get to the arena at 1:00. That's when we start planning out our matches for the night, for that night. A match like this, you can't start planning day of.
It was 2 days prior because we would go lock ourselves in the room with the producer, which was always Michael Hayes, and just started putting every idea that we had together.
Yeah.
And then the next day we would go to the arena and then start going over the stuff.
In the wrestling business, it's one of the only businesses where just because you've had success on something in prior, you can't do it again.
Right.
In football, if you have a play that works, you can run it till it doesn't work. Not in this case.
No.
You have to come up with something new to make the fans say, I haven't seen that before.
Wrestling is a totally different animal.
Yes, it is.
It's not like anything that you've ever dealt with or saw before.
Now we're
back. Now we're at ECW.
The ECW Arena.
This is in Asbury Park. ECW pay-per-view Living Dangerously.
Yep, and we got Spike coming off.
Spike and New Jack.
Oh.
Look at Bubba trying to be me. Bam.
Jack got a little bit of extra height.
Oh, yeah,
he went up.
He went
where
up.
Spike went just straight out and down.
Yeah,
Yep.
so Jack is landing on me, which I always caught. And, of course, Bubba gets the lighter of the two, which is Spike. But when you're coming off of a balcony, I don't care how small you are. That impact, it hurts.
Yeah, New Jack. He's the one wrestler that if you just say New Jack, everybody knows.
People's eyes widen up.
Everybody knows.
You know, people were familiar with New Jack. I had the pleasure of meeting Jerome Young.
Yeah.
You know, I knew Jerome Young.
Yeah.
So me and New Jack, you know, we had our issues over the years, and I'm glad to say that him and I made up, and you know, we wound up telling each other we loved each other, and that all our feuding back and forth was just nonsense.
You say you had some issues.
Yes.
Was it with Jack, not Jerome?
It was with Jack. It was never with Jerome. And again, when we made up, I was talking to Jerome.
Gotcha.
I wasn't talking to New Jack. New Jack would come out every so often, but I would talk to Jerome.
Gotcha.
Majority of the time.
How long was this before he passed?
This happened right after we left WWE.
Oh, okay.
And it was, oh man, maybe 2012, 2013, we kind of made up and was talking to each other and realized how foolish we were.
Yeah.
Going on social media, saying the things we said about each other and things like that. You know, it was kind of like, and Jack always compared it to like Biggie Smalls and Tupac. Because he loved the West Coast, even though he wasn't born on the West Coast in terms of New Jack, and neither was Pac.
Yeah. Pac's in Baltimore.
Right, and he was a big Pac fan. I was a big Biggie fan. I'm from Brooklyn.
Gotcha.
So he always compared it to that. But the thing about it is, Pac and Biggie never made up.
Never.
Me and Jack did.
That's all that matters.
That's all that matters. And me hugging him and him hugging me and telling each other we love you, and you know we're not doing this anymore. We're not going to entertain the idiots out there that want to see us feud and fight. We're not doing that anymore.
They keep it. People like that keep it going because it doesn't affect them.
Right, and not only that, but it's their version of entertaining each other.
Absolutely.
But you know, I love Jack. I miss him. And, you know, God rest his soul. He was a hell of a talent to work with. And, you know, I miss him dearly.
And this match will end. Oh, here we go.
Now, here's the tables match I talked about earlier with the Hardys at Madison Square Garden.
This is one, right?
This is the first time that people actually saw the Dudleys be the Dudleys.
Right.
This is the first time that Vince McMahon let the Dudleys be the Dudleys. Without the stuttering gimmick and this and that. It was back to our old roots.
Gotcha.
I remember we were a little jealous, I might even say envious, of the Hardys and Edge and Christian with their ladder match that they had the month before that.
Okay.
In Cleveland. It was at a pay-per-view. They tore the house down.
Right.
At that point, we felt Vince didn't let us be the Dudleys.
Be you guys.
And so we wanted to be able to prove to him. And I remember looking at that pay-per-view going, if they would just give us the opportunity to go out there and show that what we can do, we would prove that we can do the same thing that the Hardys, Edge, and Christian did. And sure enough, we were told, okay, Dudleys, the Royal Rumble is you guys and the Hardys in a tables match. And I remember Bubba coming to me and he goes, Devon, we got to turn it on.
Yeah, we got to.
It was like, we can't fail. We have to make sure that this is something that Vince and the office looks at it and goes, okay, these boys can go.
Somebody looked like a genius.
Yeah.
Booking that. Somebody looked like a genius.
His name is Vincent Kennedy McMahon. Why is it that all the dangerous spots that the Hardys and the Dudleys did, why is Jeff on me? Why couldn't I ever have Matt?
He came down on you too.
Oh, Jeff, when he puts his body on you, he ain't saving himself. Look at that. Everything, ass, back, everything, all on me, going right through that table, that last spot in that tables match.
Like he came down with all of his brunt on you.
Somebody said, your last match, would you like it to be against the Hardys? I go, only if Jeff doesn't go with me and stays with Bubba. Hey, why is that? I said, because he hurt me.
Now, with this match, at that point, how much more was left to go? Well, that was pretty much towards that was the end, right?
The end.
Yeah.
That was the end.
So again, You knew your night was over.
Knew it was
once
over.
Once that spot
was
happened.
over. And I was inching closer and closer to the end of my career. Whoa, ladies and gentlemen, wait. I gotta stop you right there. If you wanna see the rest of this, if you wanna see part 2, then check in next week on my channel, because you're gonna see me and Maven continue to talk about my most extreme matches. So you need to like and subscribe below. Oh, my brother, testify.